my name is Joelle, and today I'll be taking you through a yoga practice. If yoga is new to you, don't worry, we'll be doing everything together really slowly and gently, and I'll offer up some modifications so that you can find what works best for you and your body. I encourage you in all of our practices to be mindful of your vascular access points. Always make sure that they're safe. And also listen to your body. If at any point you start to feel dizzy or if something feels painful, then please stop and check with your doctor before continuing. You're always welcome at any point to take a rest for a few breaths and meet us later on in the practice. And if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to another chair yoga practice where today we'll be getting a little bit more active, a little bit more movement, perfect for those days where you're feeling in shape. So let's start by finding a nice tall seat. I'd like you to come a little bit forward so we're not leaning back against the chair, but rather we're encouraging the crown of the head up towards the sky and the shoulders roll back and down. And just taking a few moments to close the eyes. As always, we'll find our breath by inhaling and exhaling through the nose, with the lips softly together, inviting in space and life and energy with the inhales, and wringing the body out on the exhales. And all together, let's open the eyes. And on your next inhale, reach the arms up with the palms facing forwards. And then exhale, pull the elbows in towards the ribs. And let's repeat that. Inhale, pulling the arms up. And exhale, elbows kiss the ribs. So keep going, finding the pace of your breath. You can close the eyes. You do not have to match the pace that I am going at. We're all different. We all have different breath cycles. The arms do not have to come all the way straight. And the elbows do not have to come all the way in. Make sure you're always being aware of your vascular access, keeping it safe, and making this movement your own. And let's finish up one last one with the elbows coming in. And then give those hands a little bit of a shake. Very nicely done. We'll take a few gentle circles now with the neck. So going towards the right first. And this could be a really small movement. No need to make it too big. You might progressively find a little bit more space. And again, you can go as slow or as quick as feels appropriate for you today. And once you've taken 2 or 3 circles going towards the right, we'll simply reverse it and head over towards the left now. You might just notice whether some areas are feeling a little bit tight or tender for today. Show them some appreciation as we finish up through our last neck circle. And bring the head back to center. And do give yourself a moment here just in case you are feeling a little bit dizzy. But otherwise, we'll keep going. I'd like you to flex the arms. I always think of a bodybuilder, bringing the arms in line with the shoulders. And then take things one step further by flexing the wrists. So we're pulling the knuckles down in the direction of the biceps. And right here, this will probably create some sensation in the forearms, especially if you spend a lot of time on the computer, or maybe writing, or if you're an artist. And we'll keep this flex of the wrist, keep the knuckles pulling in as we very slowly start to extend out through the arms. And once you reach a point where that's enough stretch, which for me is right about there, we'll hold here for one deep inhale and exhale all together. And that's probably just about enough of that one. Nicely done. You can take a few wrist circles if you'd like, or just wiggle the fingers, a little bit of piano playing, and then we'll settle back in. And then holding onto the chair, maybe not, maybe just engaging through the abs and keeping the hands to the rib cage. Press the left foot down so we can lift the right foot up and take a couple of ankle circles here. So this is a move that's challenging our abdominals, our hip flexors, our ankles, of course. And then you can reverse that circle. Notice if maybe the shoulders have started to creep up towards the ears. See if you can settle them down. Finish out that circle and reset that foot down. And we'll try the second side, re-engaging through those abs in case they tried to let go, lowering the shoulders in case they tried to creep up, hands back to the rib cage or holding onto the chair, and eventually lifting up that left foot so that we can circle the ankle a couple times. And then going the other way. Very nice. Finish that last circle out, set the foot back down, and making sure that you do still have that little bit of space between your own back and the back of the chair. Interlace the fingers now in front of the chest and punch forwards, maybe lowering the chin towards the chest. And if you do have vascular excess in that area, you could also keep the head lifted, gaze forward and smile. And then bring the fist back towards the heart center. And let's try that one more time. Inhaling here. Exhaling to punch forwards and dome through the upper back. And then inhaling, returning the hands to in front of the chest. Since we do have that little bit of space behind us, we'll use the chair to counter that punch forwards we just did, holding onto the back of the chair, maybe even walking your way just an inch or two further forwards. Let's inhale to lift the heart and pull the shoulder blades together behind you. And again, the gaze can be forwards or up at the sky. And let's come out of that, release the back of the chair. And one more time for good measure, we'll take hold of the chair. And on your next inhale, roll the shoulders open and lift the heart. And on the exhale, gently coming out of that chest stretch, but keeping the length in the spine, observing how you feel. We've worked the upper body quite a bit already. We'll do a little bit more work on the lower body now. I'd like you to come to a Warrior Two position. Perhaps you're familiar with Warrior Two if you've done yoga before. Typically we do it without the chair, but it's nice to have the chair here to support us today. So start by bringing the right foot out towards the side, with the right foot facing towards the right, as it were. And then shuffle yourself back a little bit, maybe inching the foot closer to the chair, so that your right thigh is sitting on top of the base of the chair. Your left leg can stay exactly where it is. This might be enough for some of us for today. Or holding onto the chair, you might start to very slowly reach it back and find any amount of length for that left leg. So that might be here, or it might be extended all the way out, pressing down through the outside edge of that foot. And then once you've found that position with your legs, we'll extend the arms out, looking over the middle finger of your right arm. So imagine one long line of energy from the fingertips of one hand to the fingertips of the other. And you can even give them a little bit of a flutter if you want. You can even take a peek back at that left arm just to make sure it's coming straight out from the shoulder. And holding the legs as they are, we'll take a little bit of a swaying motion. So on your inhale, release the back arm to your back leg, turn the palm of the front hand upwards, and lift it up towards the sky. Your next exhale returns you to our Warrior Two foundational position. Inhale here. And then exhale, we'll take that counter stretch by bringing the forearm or the hand onto our front thigh, palm facing up, and reaching your left arm up and over now. And on the next inhale, think about squeezing the abs, engaging everything to lift your way back up. And if you're still with me, we'll take one more round of that flow. Inhale, turn the palm upwards, reach for the sky. Exhale returns you to warrior two. Inhale to reach long, one long line of energy here. And exhale back to warrior two. And bring the hands back to the chair in any way you need to. We'll shuffle our way bit by bit. Out of that, I always find that it's nice to give the legs a little bit of release time, stepping it out. And we'll try our second side. So warrior two, this time the left leg opens up, left foot facing left. The right leg can stay exactly as it is if you would like, if that feels good for today. Maybe it comes out a little bit, maybe it comes further out as you shuffle your way to find that thigh on top of the chair. And then extending, finding that same long line of energy, glancing down those front fingertips, and extending out through the back as well. And you know what's coming? On our inhale, we turn the front palm upwards. We let the back hand come down to the back leg, and we reach up and overhead, opening up through that side body. And coming back to our warrior two base. And this time settling hand or forearm to the front thigh, and reaching the back arm up and over. And if this takes you a few times to get, don't worry, you can come back to this practice, you can play around. Chances are after 2 or 3 rounds, it'll start to look a little bit different. So one more time, palm faces up. Inhale to reach. Exhale, coming back to center. And one last time, up and over. And back to center, really nicely done. That one can be challenging, even with the chair. Speaking of the chair, holding on to it, shifting the hips, the legs, the entire body, back to center, settling in. And then take the rib cage around in a big circle towards the right, almost as if you were stirring something with your body, maybe a cup of coffee or anything else that comes to mind when you think of this stirring motion. And let's reverse that. And then finishing up your final circle to settle in. On your next exhale, think about just coming forwards any amount. So for some of us, we might want to release all the way down, maybe even hold the ankles. For some of us, it'll be more appropriate for today to rest the hands or the forearms to the thighs and just give a little bit of space to the lower back. And then really slowly, no matter where you are, if you're all the way down, start to crawl the hands up the legs, placing one on top of one thigh, the other hand on the other thigh, using the strength of the arms and the abdominals to roll yourself all the way up. And then last little thing for today, shuffle your way back so that this time you are leaning against the back of the chair. Take one hand or maybe both towards the back of the head and give yourself a little neck release by massaging into that neck space. maybe along the jawline or behind the ears, wherever you need it most. Well deserved after today's efforts. And of course, I invite you to keep that going as long as you would like. Or if you're ready, give the arms a little shake, and on your last inhale, reach the arms up for the sky. Exhale, bring them to prayer in front of the chest. Wonderful job today. You did beautifully. I hope you're proud of yourself as I am of you. I'll see you in our next practice. Have a beautiful day.